A little bit. I mean, some of it's based on who we're playing and whether they're big or small, or what do we want to do defensively, if we want to get to a bunch of switching or not. Um, the other part is what you're saying, is trying to find different combinations, trying to look at different combinations, trying to give guys opportunities to play well. But most of the substitutions are based on the opponents and trying to either match up or exploit something that I see.
Coach, just along those same lines, having your full team with you now, a couple games, is it more about what you guys have and kind of seeing the tendencies and the rotations and stuff like that, how the game flows, as opposed to a Warriors team that doesn't have Clay tonight, doesn't have Draymond tonight, but you can still see how much you guys have grown over this season?
Yeah. The growth of our group is first and foremost. And a lot of the decisions that we make, whether it's I make as the head coach or we make as an organization, is kind of centered around that, the improvement of our group individually, as well as 5-man groups, as well as the full team. So most of what we do is pointed towards that, but it's also pointed towards, I think you can learn a lot from building winning habits and doing things in a winning way and having results that fall in line with that as far as winning games. So it is kind of a balance, but trying to do the best we can to walk that fine line.
This is the end of what is technically a 5-game trip, but you went home in between. Did that 2 days, does that maybe make it seem like it's a little bit less and give everybody a little bit of a mental and physical break?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, if we had stayed out on the road for this whole time, this would be a tough one. You know, I feel like our energy at shoot around was good today. Everybody seems to be in a good place because we broke it up. We broke the trip up. But yeah, to be the 5th game on this long trip is always going to be hard, but to at least go home for a couple of days did, I think, accomplish a couple things. It accomplished us getting a little bit more rest and not being stuck in a hotel somewhere, and then feeling as if this is kind of two trips instead of one long one.
I just ducked in, so apologies if someone asked
worries.
you for your starters already, but
yeah. Nobody has asked.
Coach, just along the big picture lines of the season, how has it been for you knowing that you have a group of young guys that are trying to learn and be inspired from you, and you're still trying to win games at the same time? You're still dealing with the league at the same time, injuries, COVID, all that stuff. How's it just been for you when you kind of take a step back and get introspective?
Yeah, it's been great. It's been fun. We got a good group of guys first and foremost, and they're fun to work with, and you can see the improvement on a daily basis, which is fun to see. And going on the road and winning 3 out of 4 is great and important, but it's the day-to-day that I enjoy so much with these guys. It's the practices and the walkthroughs and the film sessions and the little things that we do outside of the basketball court. So I'm really enjoying it. It's hard, but there's 30 hard jobs in the NBA. There's no easy job. And I like where we are. I like I feel like we're going. And yeah, the wins and losses, I take the losses hard, but I'm as the leader, I can't be the one like up and down and up and down. I got to stay consistent. And I feel like that's one of my strengths as far as being the same guy every day, whether we win or lose.
We'll take a few on Zoom. Ali Khan Bajani.
Hey, Steven. When Jae'Sean is defended by a big or the opposing center, and they may sometimes help off of him, what are some of those reads you would like him to make, or how would you like him to play off of that, him and his teammates?
Yeah, he did a good job in the Utah game as far as he made his first 2 threes. So that's important, because if they're going to play all the way in the paint, he's got to shoot it with confidence and make a few. And he did that. He made his first 2. but he also has to be a good screener and have a good screening angles so they can't just go under the screen. He has to really make sure that he's trying to draw contact on the screens, because with the big all the way back in the paint, we can gain an advantage if he screens well. And then the other thing is like the dribble handoffs and just being part of the action is super important for him, because if he's just kind of standing and spacing, it's easy for X5 to just zone up and then play it like 5-on-4 basically. But if he's moving around, dribble handoffs, next action, screen, low side screening, good screening angle, that kind of thing, then it puts a lot more pressure on the defense. The last thing that we kind of concentrated on is making him more of a ball handler at times. So you have to honor the ball handler. And, you know, he did a good job of that in the Utah game.
Zach Allen.
Hey, coach. Almost a similar question, but when Utah, they ran a 2-3 with the middleman being high. How important is it for, basically Golden State runs the same thing, 2-3 middleman high. How important is it for, Kevin Porter and Jalen Green to attack that middleman continuously throughout the whole game?
I mean, it's always important for Scoot to be on the attack, regardless of what the defense is doing. It's just the gaps are different, right? Like sometimes the gaps are on the side and we run like more side pick and rolls or dribble handoffs so you can turn the corner. Other times the gaps are at the top. So making sure that we play high pick and roll or get the ball moving from side to side, then attacking the closeout as it comes to the top. So yeah, it's important for him to read the defense and know kind of where the gaps will be, but we try to do things offensively to where we're attacking at the appropriate spots.
And last question, Jackson Gatlin.
Hey, Steven.
Hey.
Last game was, I believe, the second time this season that Jalen Green hasn't been on the floor in kind of a crunch time situation, with the game kind of on the line down to the wire. How difficult is it to balance wanting to have Jalen out there in those crunch time moments to learn versus, putting your best five from the night out there on the floor? And what's the takeaway in those moments for Jalen Green if he's not on the floor to close out a game?
Yeah, I mean, last game we just went with the group that was playing well. Obviously, Garrison played 19 straight minutes, so that wasn't ideal for him, but he was just playing so well. And I felt like the group deserved for him to be on the floor. As far as Jalen's concerned, Jalen understands, and I talked to Jalen, and he's good. He understands in the course of an 82 game season, there's times where he's going to be featured at the end of games, or maybe he won't be in the game at the end of games. But you can't just take one game and say, oh, he's not learning from this experience. Maybe he is learning from being on the side and watching, or learning from being out there and being a big part of what's going on. So that's all part of it. It's a delicate balance. I understand your question, but yeah, that was just the way the game was going, the way the group was playing, and we had an opportunity to win that game, and I went with my gut. And but Jalen is good as far as the conversations that we've had afterwards, the work that he's put in today, as far as he has great work habits anyway, but he's in a good place, so no big deal.